So welcome back. Currently sitting in my boat in what will be the head. Had a nice day, so I got some more work done on the boat. Finished priming the rest of the outside of the hull, the part that's going to eventually be painted dark blue. And I also started stripping the paint off the swim platform. It's a Teak swim platform that somebody had painted some sort of weird oxide red or whatever you want to call that color. Yeah, so I shot a little bit of video of the priming process using the Interlux Pre-Kote primer. Later it'll be painted with the Interlux Brightside 1-part urethane polyurethane paint. I just use a foam roller. I got the recommendation from one of the online boat rebuilding forums. A lot of people use a roll and tip method. This is what somebody coined the phrase, just roll and roll. You just do the whole thing using a small, fairly high density foam roller like you would find from Home Depot or Lowe's or hardware store of your choice. The paint has to be mixed fairly thin. I use the 333 brushing thinner or reducer or whatever Interlux calls it. Thins the paint and also slows the dry time, which gives you a little more time to work with it so you don't end up with roller marks. The whole trick is to put the paint on fairly thin, and if anybody's used a foam roller, you know when you put it on it tends to show up with these little bubbles in the paint shortly after you roll it on, and that's okay. What you do is you just do that, and then when you see the bubbles forming, by then you get your roller to the point where your roller's almost kind of dry, a little bit tacky, and just roll it very carefully over that paint again, and it pops all those bubbles, and the paint just flows into a really nice smooth finish. Obviously not with the primer, but with the final finish paint, it gives you a finish that's almost like a sprayed on finish. That's what I did in my other boat, and that's what I'm going to be doing on this one. You can see a little bit of how I do it with the primer, but eventually once I do the final paint it'll give you a better idea of how it actually works. For the swim platform, what I did was I used a heat gun and a paint scraper and scraped the excess old paint off. And then I just took a sander to it, and it's coming out good. Obviously the little cracks and the gaps in between are going to be a little bit more work, but the wood underneath looks good, so I'll end up finishing it but leaving it the natural wood color rather than this ugly paint on the platform. To me, I always like the look of real teak. That's why I have teak living room furniture in my house too. Anyway, not a really long video, but shows you a little bit of what I'm up to, and that progress is actually happening on the boat.